It makes us feel safe, and it's what we seek. And it's why we're most comfortable when we're surrounded by people who share our beliefs, our opinions, our morals, our integrity, and our character. That's when we feel safest. Because we can predict what's going to happen. If you look at a chair that's falling apart and one of the screws is popping off, and it's someone who's not really good at assembling IKEA furniture who's put it together, you look at it and you go, if I sit on that, it's going to break. And I know that's going to happen. And that's why it's so important. You start with trust, number one, and you start looking for people who you can trust. Because you're going to entrust your time, your energy, and your belief in them. That's a big gift to give someone, is your belief in them. So Brett and I started a little tiny business out of a, upstairs extra bedroom in our first home together, I don't know, 16, 17 years ago now. And we never took out a loan. We never borrowed $1. We never did any advertising. We just looked for people we could trust. I didn't look for bodies. I didn't look for the best physiques, the biggest packed classes, people who look like rock stars and have star quality. I didn't look for star quality. In fact, we screened for people who thought they had star quality. You laugh because we know it's so true. But our company and our success, Brett and I are so rich because we looked for people we could trust. And when I say rich, I mean rich. Like, it is such a joy to see what's happened. So we'll be millionaires. And we were fitness instructors. We were $500,000 in debt at one point. And people would say, I want to be you someday. And I would say, I hope you're a lot bigger than me and better than me and not as stressed out as me. And so it is not because we ever looked for skill. We looked for people we could trust. So what that meant was we put people in our life who we would want in our lives forever. Don't you want to work with people who you want to be around? You know? Half of the prizes are vacations. You don't want to take vacations with people you can't stand. I feel the same way about the room full of people here, and it's because you have the ability to put people on your team who share your opinions, your beliefs. Don't look for skill. Don't look for physique. Don't look for everything being perfect. Look for something that says, I trust this person. I like them. John and Carl. And I sat down at the table, and I don't remember what it was, but there was something about the way those two were joking around with each other. And I was all dressed up, and they're like, oh, we feel kind of silly, we're in jeans. And I was like, okay, I already trust and like them. And then they said to me, Carl looked, he's writing down notes, and he looked at me, he goes, you know what I love about your program? The sound effects. That's so cool. I'm like, okay, done, and done. Done. And that was just a feeling. It was just a feeling, like a connection, you know? And I went back and told our staff at Powder Blue, like, I said, I think they're like us, but all grown up. We created a pretty lengthy questionnaire, and we asked personal questions, like, what's the status of your relationship with your spouse? You know, how much support do you give your spouse? Does your spouse give you support? How much of a, you know, do you think you're going to be a star at this? Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. If they thought they were going to be a star, we would be like, because that's not what we were interested in. You know, we asked a lot of questions that would show us how trustworthy this person was and where their heart was. Were they in it to help people, or were they in it to be fitness famous? Small representation of how important trust is. And I can have my back to them. Do anything for them. I have this amazing life because I found people I trust. They don't look alike. They come from different areas. Most of them I met online. Like the people you'll bring to your organization. Look for people who share your beliefs. They don't have to look like you. They don't have to live by you. But they need to share your beliefs. Because then you're safe. And you're happy. And you can fail. And you can fall back. And people will catch you. And you can trust them. So thank you. I love you guys. And thank you.